this shot of Alicia. Of course, she's communicating with Eugene. So of course, this does confirm that Alicia is the girl that Eugene was communicating with on The Walking Dead's original show. So here's the big reveal. There's going to be another big crossover. Alicia is going to be crossing over to The Walking Dead. It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another one. We're back to talk about Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. They just released a bunch of new photos for the upcoming season of Fear the Walking Dead, Season 6. There's actually some very interesting photos in here. Now, they did release a few other pictures earlier on, and we already did like a video on them, but I will bring those pictures up in this video as well, because some of those pictures actually connect to the new pictures that they released. So I want to kind of get all of them together and start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. We actually have a huge clue about what the season 6 premiere is going to look like, which is a Morgan-centric episode. We also have a tease about a new big bad for season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead, which we're going to look at. So with all of that, let's dive right into this video. So the first picture we're going to look at, which is actually a picture that they released previously, is this picture of Dwight and Althea together. Now, what's interesting is that I made a prediction a few weeks ago, and it seems like my prediction was right on the money. And my prediction was that what we're probably going to see is at some point Dwight and Sherry are going to reunite, and at some point we're going to get a reveal that after Sherry left Negan and the Saviors and Dwight back on The Walking Dead, and before she reunited with Dwight, at some point during that time, she was with this group of masked people who we actually see in the trailer as well. When Dwight came in and found Sherry, Sherry left this group. And this didn't sit well with this new group of masked people, and they actually came after Sherry and Dwight. We actually see a shot in the trailer where we have a group of people with the same masks on horseback, following Althea's SWAT truck. And we actually saw someone in the SWAT truck shooting at these people. What we're probably gonna see is a scenario where Dwight and Sherry are reunited and they leave, and the people that Sherry was with come after them, and it's Althea who comes to rescue them. Or maybe Althea is with them when this goes down. Maybe Althea and Dwight go and find Sherry together, something along those lines. Keep that in mind. So we have this picture of Dwight and Althea together, and then this picture of Dwight and a bunch of walkers approaching. Now this looks like it's the exact same location as the location from the previous picture where we had Althea and Dwight together. Look at this picture, which is actually the first picture we got from season 6, which is the picture of Sherry and Dwight together. Now what's interesting is look at the background. It's like a tunnel. It's like the opening of an underground tunnel or something along those lines. It's possible that the previous two pictures were from inside this tunnel that we see. Now look at this picture right here. We have one of the members of the masked group with a gun to Althea's head. So they have her at gunpoint. Now, a few things to keep in mind. In the trailer again, there was a few shots of Dwight and Sherry in a room. Then Dwight approached this window, pulled the curtain, and saw a member of this masked group on the other side. And I think it was the exact same person in that brief shot. But look at the background. That looks like it's around or the exact same area that we saw in the previous picture. It's like the exact same opening to the tunnel that we saw. Now we can sort of put the pieces together. Maybe after Sherry and Dwight reunited, together with Althea, they seeked refuge in this area. And of course, like I said, maybe this group of masked men followed them and they want Sherry back. Something along those lines. I think that's very interesting. And this does bring up a very important question. Is this new group of masked men going to be the new big bad of season 6 of Fear? Like the villains? Of course, we know that Virginia is still in the picture, but at the same time, I don't think that her story is going to last an entire season or even half a season. So I think what we're probably going to see is a new big bad being introduced, who's this masked group. The other part of it is that they did say season 6 will not be chronologically ordered, which means that it'll be out of place. Episodes are going to be out of place. So there's going to be time jumps and flashbacks in a way. So maybe this doesn't even take place at the same timeline as the Virginia storyline. Maybe this happens in a future timeline. So that's pretty interesting. Then we have this picture of none other than Daniel Salazar giving Virginia a haircut. It does connect to Danny Salazar's past. Of course, before the apocalypse, he was a barber. So that connects there. And also, in the previous season, I believe, there was a scene where Danny Salazar was actually giving Dwight a haircut. So that's interesting as well. And then we have this picture of Victor Strand and Alicia together. Of course, the only thing this really tells us is that they are going to be at the same place. Of course, at the end of the last episode, everyone split. Based on everything we've looked at, we know that there's going to be at least 3 stories that are going to be going on. The first story is everyone at the camps probably trying to escape. The second storyline is going to be the storyline with Dwight and Althea's mission to find Sherry. And there's going to be a third storyline which is going to revolve around the oil field and an explosion that's going to take place in that location. That takes me to this picture. So in this picture we have Sarah and Luciana together at the exact oil field that we talked about. And there seems to have been like an explosion because we have flames everywhere in the background. And then we get this picture of Luciana. Again, same exact area at the oil field. She is covered in grease, which makes sense. And then we have this picture, which is interesting. June at the forefront, Virginia behind her, and 2 other people. What this tells us is that the storyline that's going to take place at the oil field is going to revolve around not only Virginia and Luciana, but also Sarah and June as well. So they're all going to be involved in that storyline, which is interesting. That takes me to this picture. Again, exact same area around the oil field. We have June and Virginia. This, of course, connects back to what I just mentioned. So that's very, very interesting. Then we have this picture of Charlie. Then we have this shot of Alicia. Of course, she's communicating with Eugene. So, of course, this does confirm that Alicia is the girl that Eugene was communicating with on The Walking Dead's original show. So here's the big reveal. There's going to be another big crossover. Alicia is going to be crossing over to The Walking Dead. I'm just kidding. Of course, this has nothing to do with that. This is just Alicia talking on the radio to someone, probably the bounty hunter that we saw in the trailer. Of course, the bounty hunter was hired in a way by Alicia to find Morgan and bring him back. Then we have this pretty awesome shot of Morgan. So he's of course injured. He's still healing, but he has his beard, the big bushy beard that we saw. Now, of course, this is after the events of the season 5 finale. So Morgan does not die. He just makes it out alive and he's just healing. So this is him on his own healing, which makes sense. Now, what's interesting is that there's like a cop car right there. Now, I think that's significant. I think that's a big clue. I think that's a clue that the first episode back, the season 6 premiere, which is going to be a Morgan-centric episode, will look a lot like Rick's final episode and Michonne's final episode, in a way where it references past episodes. Now, how did I come up with that conclusion? Well, think about it. In Rick's final episode and also in the premiere of The Walking Dead's original show, there was this shot, and that was like a very iconic shot from the premiere of The Walking Dead, the pilot. They used that exact same environment or the exact same setup in Rick's final episode. And they had it so that it basically made everything go full circle. Now, of course, we saw Morgan in the premiere as well. So they could be doing something where they're making everything go full circle for Morgan as well. And referencing previous episodes of The Walking Dead, iconic episodes of The Walking Dead. And what better episode to reference than the premiere of The Walking Dead, which has Morgan in it as well. And this kind of does connect to the episode of the season 6 premiere, which is The End is the Beginning. So that kind of gives us a hint that we're going to see things maybe go full circle as well. But I want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions about this. Do you agree with me that this is a big tease about a big storyline revolving around Morgan in this first episode, which is going to look something like Rick's final episode in a way where we're going to see previous things from The Walking Dead and maybe flashbacks and things like that? Or do you think that I'm looking too much into this? Let me know both ways. Then we have this shot of John, and then we have this picture of John and Strand together, both rocking a cowboy hat, which is pretty interesting. With that said, I want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions about everything discussed. If you enjoyed this video, share and smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.